Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Live Again series. In here, we help women live again, and we bring women living again to help other women live again. And the men benefit. That's how we roll. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, Frima. Welcome, Amadine. Hey, hi, brother. Hi, Buki. My guest is here. Let me bring her. She's been waiting. Again series. Welcome, Marianne. Tonight is going to be a good night. So go invite your friends. Go invite everyone. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, I heard I'm seeing men too can live again. Oh, yes, so.
Absolutely. I love it. Absolutely.
Welcome everyone. Yes, if you're a man, welcome. This is supposed to be a show to help women live again, but the men benefit because the practical steps and principles and lessons and strategies will also benefit them. So welcome everybody that is looking at me for the first time, wondering who is this on Captain TK's timeline. Let me introduce myself. My name is Emi Fome, and I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again purposefully and profitably. We also have a shelter where we house women just to ensure that they live again. And my guest tonight is none other, right? The phenomenal, the effervescent, the amazing, first of her name, first of her kind. Have you seen any Captain TK anywhere before? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce my guest for tonight. She's my sister. Yeah. She's a dear friend, but she's also a kingdom sister. In fact, a covenant sister. Her name is Mrs. Atinuke Stanley Pepple. I'm going to be reading her profile. She is a remarkable individual who has a background. Okay, so I'm trying to get your profile. Who has a background who has a background in law and is called to the Nigerian Bar Association. Some of you do not know that. Yeah. She is a distinguished commercial airline pilot. That's the one that many of you know, right? Her journey of excellence began at the Vivian Fowler Memorial College for Girls, leading her to pursue law at Igbinedion University and further sharpen her legal acumen at the Nigerian Law School in Enugu State, Nigeria. Fueled by a passion for aviation, this woman you are seeing here still went to aviation school. Let me calm down and read the profile. Mrs. Atinuke Stanley Pepple soared to new heights by training at the Canadian Flight Academy in Ontario, Canada, and the International Aviation College in Ilorin. Currently shining as a first officer at Air Peace Nigeria Limited, she has gracefully transitioned from her dedicated roles at AAA Chambers and Ikeazu & Co., and now a first officer/pilot on the Boeing 737 Classic. Her success knows no bounds, welcoming opportunities on ground and in the skies. I can't even understand that, because sometimes I think about it, I'm like, how do you do it? With open arms. When not commanding the skies, Mrs. Stanley Pepple is found immersed in the pages of books or crafting projects to inspire the youth, including her upcoming online academy. Among the prestigious passengers graced by her expertise are luminaries like Chief Obina Akwiwu, the erudite His Excellency Peter Obi, the esteemed Mrs. Olufunke Iyabo Osibodu, the visionary Chief Dele Momodu, and dignitaries such as His Excellency Governor Mohammed Badaru Abubakar and former Governor of Ekiti State. This woman, see, let me tell you people something about this woman. She's a go-getter. There's nothing she wants to do that she cannot do. There's nothing that she puts her mind to do that she cannot do. And the reason why I brought her here as a guest is because she has a passion for inspiring lives. She has a passion for youth and also women, right? And that's one reason she's my guest tonight. And she's also a very resilient person, which you would find out as we speak. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, Captain TK, lawyer, pilot, lawyer. Oh my goodness. Welcome, sis. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Don't worry, we can see you. It's fine. I don't know what's happening with your lights, but we can see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. This is the Live Again series, right? And my guest, I have just introduced her. Her name is Captain TK, Captain Atinuke Stanley Pepple. So in the Live Again series, we help women live again, and we bring women that are living again to share their practical steps that they took to live again, right? And so we have Captain TK tonight. If you're a man, don't feel like, oh, it's for women. No, you can actually benefit from the lessons that will be shared and the steps that will be shared as well. Sis, let me know if you can hear me, or if I should wait a bit. So let me just keep talking about what Live Again is about. So Live Again is really about living again. And I can't wait to hear what our guest would say about what it means to her. But basically, it's just really helping you with practical steps that can help you bounce back from adversity and pain and difficult situations and whatever it is that has held you down or held you back or stopped you from truly living and made you to merely exist or settle for a life that is not the life that God ordained for you to live. Sis, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So I think she's trying to sort some things out. So welcome everyone. Please let me know where you are joining from in the world. Wherever in the world you are joining from. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're just joining, my name is Fome. I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again purposefully and profitably, right? We help women that have been knocked down by life, that are tired of life and frustrated, depressed. Some of them are looking good and feeling like they're actually all right, but they're not really living. They're just really stuck in their past. So that's what we do at the Live Again movement. We also have a shelter where we house these women. So yeah, so you're welcome. My guest is Captain TK. I'm waiting for her to say something to me so that I can just proceed with the questions. But please let me know where you are joining from. Let me know where in the world you are joining from.
Sorry.
Okay, she's back.
Sorry.
She's back.
Sorry about that, guys.
Welcome
I'm
back.
back.
Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
This is your open seat. Abi gap
As-
suit. Abi what they used to call it. Hi. The glow is glowing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd asked people where they are joining from. Someone is saying
Awesome.
Akwa Ibom State. Welcome. Welcome from Akwa Ibom State. Okay, so I have to take this away. I have to take this
Mm-hmm.
away. Why we're here. Why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
We're here to help women live again. We're here to provide practical steps to help women live again. And the men are going to benefit from the lessons that are going to be shared. Okay, I see from Zambia. I see from Kaduna. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so my first question to you, my darling sister. First of all, thank you for saying yes to this. And you know, it's been a long time coming, but thank you that we're finally doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what does the term "live again" mean to you? When you hear "live again," what jumps at you when you hear those words "live again"?
I think when you say leave again, honestly, there has to be a premise before that question. So that means the person was existing and something made that, or so the person was living literally, and then something happened and stopped that. And for some reason, when that comes to me, I don't know why, but I was thinking about how Jesus Christ died and the power of resurrection. I don't know why, but I'm going to explain why I think it came to my head, because it was until he died that his purpose, his actual purpose, now came up. And it's ironic, like, how do you die and then you're actually fulfilling purpose? But that was his ultimate purpose, actually, at death. And the thing that happens at death, you have two choices. If you have a near death experience, then put it that way, a near death experience where it's either you just give up and you just exist, or something says, you know what, this is my one shot at it and I'm going to give it, if I die, I die, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So living again is, for whatever reason, you've come, anybody, like we said, this is for women, but obviously men can definitely benefit from
Benefit,
it.
yeah.
Yes, and maybe for whatever reason in your life, in your career, I've been listening to a particular guy. I can't remember. Goggins. Hello everybody. And he after listening to his story yesterday, something just picked in my head that it doesn't matter where you are at, what you have experienced, what life has thrown at you. This moment can be the deciding factor in your life, whether you can actually live for purpose. Living again is your opportunity to live for purpose. At this particular time, now you're not just existing, you're not just, oh, I wake up, I eat, I go to work. This is my one shot at it and I'm going to give it my best. And like I said, it goes back to, for some reason, when when I see that, I just think of Jesus had to literally die on the cross to fulfill his own purpose. And he's living, he's still living, literally, you know. And if you have that mindset that it doesn't matter what has been thrown at you, this is your opportunity to live again, now intentionally with purpose, you know. This is your, that's it for me.
Wow.
That's, mhm.
Living again is living, being given the opportunity to live for purpose, right?
Absolutely.
Is having the opportunity to live for purpose. Is that what you
Absolutely.
mean? Like
Yes.
you've gone through things,
Mm-hmm.
but you now want to now sit back to say, okay, why did I go through what I went through? What
Mm-hmm.
am I going to do with this thing that I went through? And
Mm-hmm.
how can it be useful? How can it, what is the thing that God wants to bring out of this thing that has happened to me? And then you spoke about the death of Jesus, which is so profound, because that's what the whole Live Again movement is
Are
about.
you
It's really about,
serious? Can you
exactly,
imagine?
it's really about the death and resurrection. It's leveraging that resurrection power to live again.
Mm.
It's really the template that we use in the Live Again movement is the template of Jesus
Wow.
Christ. He died to live again. Yeah, he
Wow.
actually died to
Amazing.
live again. If he did not die, he would have not lived again, right? And if he had just decided not to die and just continue just living, and he would have been existing because his purpose would have not been fulfilled.
Hmm.
And that's what a lot of people are doing. They oh, I'm just living, I'm going through life, but the reason why they're here, they are not yet achieving that, and that equates up to a wasted
Hmm.
life. And it will never be any of us portion that is listening in
Amen.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. So thank you for
Amen.
sharing that, because that took us really to the crux of what the Live Again movement is about.
Mm.
And it's really important that we live on purpose, for purpose, and intentionally, and leverage that which has happened to us to say, okay, how can I live on purpose? This is my opportunity. Let me have this mindset that this thing has a purpose, and let me leverage that purpose. That's what I hear you say. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that. So my next question to you, have you ever been knocked down by life? What
Ah,
did you do?
who
What
hasn't?
practical steps did you take to live again
Oh
purposefully
my
and
God.
positively, or to
I
bounce back, basically?
So life has happened to all of us. I'm not excluded in any way, manner, or form. But I would say that one practical step that I took was drawing closer to God, because that is where I found strength. So many
Mm,
times I've had challenges, like I'm like, God, you know, how am I going to go? Am I actually going to even come out of this, you know? But I keep finding that strength in Him. And I think He uses those things to draw me closer to Him, because
mm,
at that point it's like I don't have any other option. No other person can do this for me but Him. So it's just like you said, understanding the reason why that particular thing is happening. The first thing is drawing closer to God, and I don't even mean that in a religious sense. It's just, you know how maybe somebody goes to school, like a child goes, this is the analogy that comes to my head. A child goes to school and then there's a bully at school, and then she doesn't want to go back to class because, oh my God, this person is making life miserable. And she goes to daddy, and daddy says, oh no, don't worry, I got you, like, let's go, you know. And that is the kind of relationship I have built with God. Like, daddy, see, I beg, this is what's going on. I don't have any other person to go to. Like, what do you want me to
mm,
do? And he literally gives me the blueprint per time. He would literally say, okay, Tinka, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go and take this course. I need you, like, I mean, we're both in a community for meditation.
yeah.
Meditation is now a way of life for me. Like, it's a way of life. It's not
Mm,
even, I know that it's literally like drinking water, because I need to always act from a place of abundance. That is my reality. And
mm,
I need my mind to align to that word, because God is not going to lie to me and say, I'm abundant, and be lying. Like, He has nothing to prove to me to lie to me. So if He said this is it, that's it, you know. So first step is really drawing closer to God. Praying and fasting, yes, it may sound very cliche, but that is it. And prayer is such a necessity. I have like a daily hour that like a minimum hour that I need to reach per day, because that's where I draw my spiritual strength from. And then also having a very strong support system, because as much as, you know, we want to be independent and self-sufficient, honestly, if you don't have a strong support system, it could get very lonely. You're not getting
mm,
feedback, and positive feedback. So it doesn't mean that it is what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. That those are the practical steps, but definitely first drawing closer to God. I mean, I don't mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I love these
Yeah.
steps because they're very practical and they're very relatable. And I love the example that you used about a child who's maybe who got bullied and the child went to meet her dad and her dad said, "Who is that person? Let's go there."
Yeah.
You know, just going to God, looking at God as Father. Because many times I think that's where the problem is, the mindset and the way we look at God. We think that God is one tyrant or one bully or someone that is just there looking for how to mark our script and say, you failed, you passed, I'm going to deal with you, I'm going to punish you, I'm going to show you. And all these perceptions that we have about God affects whether we come to him in adversity or difficult situations or painful situations, or if we run away from him. So I like that you mentioned drawing closer to God, because there is no living again without the God factor. As much as we try to speak English and, you know, use 10 laws of this and whatever, the truth of the matter, if you're listening to us, whatever the degree that you have, whatever the qualification that you have, you must get to the point where you know that it's only God that can help me in this matter.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it's only God. You get to some situations where it's only God that can help you. You know, someone is saying, I'm a Muslim, but I'm enjoying
I
this so
love
deep.
that.
Thank you
I
so
love that.
much.
Thank you
Thank you. We
so
are
much.
glad you are benefiting because
Thank
the principles are the same across board, right? You can't live again by yourself on your own. You need to get to the point of surrender where you have reached there, like, God, please, come and help me. I beg.
I
You know,
beg. Ah. Mm-hmm.
that's where you
Hey.
now die, and then you now begin to live again, because sometimes he will now begin to point things out to you. I mean, you mentioned something here. You said he gives you blueprints
He does.
per time, per season. If I really stay here and ask you how that looks like, you would give me instructions that were not normal or were difficult for you to do. For example, you just mentioned now that you do praying and fasting as part of your practical steps that you take whenever you find yourself in a state where you're not really living, or you're struggling, or you're existing, or you're going through some really tough times. You pray and you fast, and you said minimum number of hours. I mean, you are a pilot. How do
I
you
want to
balance
talk
that?
about this. I want to
Yeah,
talk about this because I think it's very important.
yeah.
So I was having a particular challenge, and I had a call. Let me use that word. I had a call to speak to the youth and do this and do that, and I was just very ginger. I was like, oh yeah, let's go there. Do. And the way life hits me back, those me that I thought I was driven and passionate, I now realize that even if you're called, do you like have they poured the oil on your head to go and do that mission? Like it's you may have it's like, oh, I'm ginger, I want to be a pilot. Would I just go and enter inside plane and take off? I will crash. I have not gone to the school. I have not learned. I've not gotten the licenses, and there are different licenses for different levels of flying. So it's the same thing with the call. I was so ambitious at that time, so I just gingered and went, and I was hitting. And God specifically told me at some point, He said, "Go and take this particular person's course." I had to send the person a message because it was almost like each module of her course was the challenge I was going through part time. So if I was going through something, I'll say, "Oh God," and he'll just remind me, "But you haven't finished that course," and I'll go back to it. And that particular, I had to tell her, I said, "This course you created, it wasn't you that created it. It was you just made yourself available for God to pour this." And in that course, she actually gave a minimum hour of prayer per day, 6 hours per day.
Oh,
Six.
wow.
6 man. Hey, God. When I saw it, I was like, hey, God of mercy. Like me that I've been doing like 1 hour to her. And she said, you know what? The 6 hours does not have to be a stretch. I can be doing 6 hours. I can be flying and praying in my head. It doesn't affect
Yeah, it's the
anything.
consciousness.
Do you understand? You don't have to be like, I can be driving.
Mm.
See, most of the time, I don't listen to radio. I barely watch TV. Most times
Yeah,
it's
together.
maybe a message and a prayer. Because I'm going into the world. I don't know what Mr. X and Mr. Y are doing.
Mm.
And I'm not going to be ignorant of the devices of the devil. So
Mm.
I need to go there backed up, spiritually charged. Like I'm not the only one seeking for whatever position I'm desiring for. I promise you, there's so many people that are out there desiring it and equally qualified. But
Mm.
when push comes to shove, you need to, there's no, like you said, it's even in the Bible. It's not about the kingdom is not about English speaking. It's about power.
Yeah.
And how do you
Demonstration of
develop that
power.
power and that capacity? I can be cooking and praying. You can, so it's understanding that you don't have to be like, isolated. And then your hours, like midnight prayers, very 5 a.m. prayers, 7 a.m. prayers, before you know it, you've clocked your 6 hours.
You don't
Because
sit, yeah.
whether you like it or not, most of us are spending 6 hours on Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and Snapchat. If we check our 6 hours, we have clocked that 6 hours easily. So why can't you can play the prayer in the background and be doing something that you need to do at the same time? But that 6 hours is key, because we are going into territories. You see this thing about living again. When I was coming into Instagram, I was like, God, to be honest, I really don't want to do this, because I just want to mind my business and go. But there was something about this journey that actually kept me awake. Like, if I start saying some of the challenges I've had there, it will not even make sense that how is this girl even coming up and smiling. But that is where, going back to the blueprints, and I know who my father is, and he has assured me that everything is sorted. So all this one I did see, I beg you move. You know it. You
I
know it.
know
Like,
who my
I
father
beg you,
is.
I beg you. Do you understand? So what those, and I tell a lot of youths, like a lot of us here, that some of us see a newcomer, see me, oh, you want to be like this, you want to be driven, you want to be you want to have that thing that just gives you, are you really ready to do the work? Because there is work. Oh. There is work. Like,
Hey.
the work that needs to be done. We're not trying to scare you, but that's just reality. Living again comes with responsibilities, and you must be willing to put that like, when I was looking at the conference that is about to happen, I was like, I don't know how this girl is doing it, because to be honest, even me, I'm just calculating in my head, like, I hope she has a very strong team that is supporting her, because honestly, my head, and you have to be able to multitask, because you have you have so much that you're handling, so much that God, and the more you actually do, the more
The
God
more God,
requires of you. He doesn't stop requesting. He doesn't
hey.
stop requesting of you. You are doing this one, you have not finished. You say, do this one, do that one, go and do this. And I'm like, God, okay, bro, how is this going to happen? One of the things
Hey, God.
God told me in COVID, He told me in 2019, He gave me another instruction, because I said, oh, I want to be excellent, I want to be this, I want to be that. He said, okay, I'm going to give you this instruction. I was like, hey, this kind of requirements, I don't understand. He said, do you know why? Because the level of energy and health you need to do what I demand of you, it has to be at its peak. You can't even afford to be sick, because there are so many lives that are attached to your destiny, like so many bloodlines. And if you don't rise up to the occasion, somebody's going to be dead on your watch. This Instagram thing that you think we're just coming here to post, I've just been thinking, I'm like, God, see, I did not come here to come and show you guys I'm a pilot too. But lie, if I had my way, I wouldn't even show it. If I had my way, what I came here to talk about, I hope people are ready for it. Because whether you're ready or not, safe, it has to come out. And this is one of those things. Prayer. You see men of God come out and they're delivering, and some of you are saying, do you know the sacrifice they have to pay? Like, hey God. And you see,
It takes
I
a lot.
can't stand, it takes a lot. I can't stand mediocrity. And I don't think anybody is supposed to be mediocre. I don't think so. Like, God did not take his time to create anything that is mediocre. Have a manner. And you are not one of it. Like, you are excellent. You are amazing. Go and read the books and go and, how you want to know, like me, my mom is Igbo, my dad is Yoruba. If I want to know more about myself, I will go and get the books of the Yoruba, like Oduduwa. I'll start going into the books and go and read about my like, how did I even get space tips? Who was the person that first had this space tips that now came to me? It's the same thing with your identity as a human being. Go into the books, go into the Bible. I know we have a Muslim here, but go into the books and go and get acquainted with what is written in the books of you in particular, not anybody. I don't want to mention any celebrity, or because somebody's name came to my head. Not anybody but you. And that is what gives me and any firm the audacity to come and speak to you guys and take your time and your data on a beautiful Sunday evening, because we know we're running on purpose. We're not here to just gist and get vibes and we're living. Absolutely.
And we're inviting you. This is an invitation for you to live again. And living again, for you, it may be that there is a new level you need to climb to listening to us. For you, it might be that you've not been able to overcome something that happened in your past that was painful. For someone else, it can be that, oh, there is something God has been telling you and putting in your heart, and you're not even sure it's God, but it keeps coming to you. It doesn't leave you. It's just like a nudge. Everywhere you go, you just keep feeling that this is what I'm supposed to do. But you are afraid of the sacrifice, of what is being demanded of you. Let me say to you, unless a corn of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abides alone. The death, you
Absolutely.
cannot avoid it, so you have to choose your own death. Do you want to die? Carry yourself and go and die willingly and surrender to God, or he puts you in a situation where you will now end up still dying because you see. Jonah is a classic example.
Period.
Jonah did not want to go to Nineveh.
Period.
He didn't want to go to Nineveh. He tried everything. Some of you have tried different things. The reason why you're struggling so much and trying to look like you've gotten it all put together, which is something that people do these days that doesn't help them truly live. We are all focused on how we look. Like Captain Atinuke said, we're not coming here to make you look, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I know how to speak English. No, it's not about how we look. It's about, are we fulfilling purpose? Are we doing what God wants us to do? Are we saying what God wants us to say right now? Are we in the place he has planted us to be? Then we can begin to flourish, no matter the economy, no matter your location. If you are not planted, if you are not aligned, if you are not doing the thing that is God has put in your heart to do, you cannot truly live. Even though you show to the world that you look like, oh, you are living, you have this, you have a good job, you have a this. So how we can say we are living, two of us, it's not because we don't have challenges. In fact, even before I came live, I had a challenge.
On the live,
So,
I had a challenge.
On the live, you had a challenge. You understand? So it's not that there are no challenges. Oh, we just have like one chef and then one nanny and then one driver. We're like ping, ping, ping. Everything is just press, repeat, rinse. That's not what living again is about. What living again is about is living as God intends for you to live. And by this, I don't mean going to church. I don't mean joining one church, one pastor, or one prayer. This is not a religious IG life. This is just to call you to know that you did not land here by mistake. You did not just appear, in the family that you are. Oh, I'm in this family. Oh, okay, I'm reading this course. Oh, no, there is a way to live, like Captain Atinuke said, intentionally. Living again is your opportunity to live intentionally, to live for purpose. And I want to reach something else that you shared. You said there are different levels, in being a pilot, there are different levels. There are some planes you cannot fly when you just start. There are some planes you have to go and do more courses for you to be able to fly. And you will not be given those planes to even fly. And it's the way life is. You're believing, you're saying, God, baby, it's okay, baby, it's okay, baby, it's okay, raise me up, new job, big house, big this. Can you carry what you are believing for? Can you carry can you carry the things you are desiring? Can you carry it? You see some people get some testimonies and that testimony kills them. Like they literally say, oh, I've been believing, I want a child, and then they get the child and then they die. Or I want a house, they get the house and then they die. Why? They cannot carry that thing that they have the stamina, the spiritual capacity has not been built yet. So can you listen to us and hear what God is saying to you? That it is time for you to live again. Not what you are trying to make the world see, but who God has called you to be. Allowing yourself to live on purpose.
Absolutely.
Right? And I want to touch something else that you said. You said, I know who my Father is. You said it, and you said it with audacity and confidence. You said, I know who my Father is. So I want to really, and then you mentioned something. You said, so many lives are attached to your destiny. Someone should not be dead on your watch. Hi, Kali Bradosa.
Nobody. I don't know if I want to share this particular thing that happened to me. Um, I'm going to say it as carefully as I can. Something happened to somebody very close to me at the time, and I kind of took part responsibility. Like, you know how something happens and it's like, God, could I have done something differently? The truth is that, and I'm answering the second part. I think a lot of people, because of spiritual laxity, they really don't know. A lot of people are just existing. Oh, I got to work. Oh, I do this. This happens, that happens. So they really don't know what their purpose in life is, honestly. And this is not to make anybody feel some type of way, but because they don't know, they can't even align. How are you going to align with something that you don't even understand? So and the same thing with this whole, each level has a demand. At the level I was at that time, I was ignorant to what was demanded of me. I was just like, youth, go and let me go and help the youth go and the picture, God reveals part, like it's precept per precept. It's little by little. The more the stronger, the closer you draw to him, the more he would reveal to you. At first you're seeing men like trees, and then you now finally see men as men. That the clarity comes over time, and you need to press in the place of prayer and intercession and everything that you need to keep consistently doing. And after that thing happened, I said, God, see, on my watch, except you want to raise the dead. That's my agreement with you now. Except you want to give me, except you want to raise the dead. That's maybe you just want to use this one to raise dead. Okay, I will let you, but nobody's going to die. See, not on my watch. Not as long as, because
Again.
I know that the people around me, God is not going to put each one of us. You see, there's a group of people that are tied to your destiny, and for example.
Yes.
And if something wants to happen to them and they are not really, their antenna is not that sharp. You know how we are watching TV, maybe DSTV for and then rain is falling and then the network is affected for whatever reason. Maybe in the house, another person has like an antenna that can receive information that whether rain or sun or whatever, the person is fine. God knows that, and he will send that information to the person that is receiving and say, this person within your watch who would listen to you when you speak, this is what's about to happen to that person. It is now on you. It is now on you. I was talking to somebody recently, and I said, he's so, the knowledge he has with the mind. I said, we need to speak about it more. But you have to be careful, because you can't say, oh, I want to do this. Like, you want to go out and drink, and you know that you maybe 10 bottles, I'm using this as an example, nothing will happen to you. But your brother who is watching you does not have that capacity, and the person goes to drink one drink and drives and dies. That person is, the person's blood is on you. You did not drink for the person. You did not even tell the person to drink. But that the person watched you and fell,
Hey.
it's actually on your head. So a lot of you people, like, some of you are intercessors. You are the people that are standing by the gates of your family, your generation. You are the one.
Yes.
Your own is just to stand up
Pattern
and pray.
breakers.
That's all. That's your own job, in your own lineage, like this. Your own. Who's ringing my bell? They want to disturb our life. Please, I'm busy. Sorry, guys. Your own is just to break patterns. That is it. But you are sleeping. Midnight, you are sleeping. You say they are pressing you. Why are they pressing you? Because you are not pressing them. They are pressing you because you are not pressing them. You need to press them. That's the thing. When midnight, you wake up and you pray. And it doesn't have to be, it's not something that will happen. When I started doing 5 a.m. prayers, I was like, hey, God, which kind? When that 5 a.m. sleep is just like the sweetest. It's like when the thing is just, oh my God, you just bend your neck, my sister. And God said, no, you wake up by this 5. When I now had this 6 hour thing, and I said, okay, when I do 5, I can do 7 till 9, I can do, and then I started calculating, and I just started getting stretched. And I'm like, you will notice the difference in your, like, you will just know. You will just know. Sometimes you will even play. Sometimes I leave the messages to be playing in the background and I'm sleeping. And I will literally wake up to hear a particular, I will wake up to hear that part of that message that is exactly for me and go back to sleep. That's the only thing. And when I wake up, I remember, there was a part of this message that I know that I was sleeping. This person is disturbing us. I don't know if I should tell them, like, I can't, I don't know. Please come back. Sorry, guys.
Are you sure you should not go answer the person and come
Just
back?
give me like 30 minutes, please. Sorry, guys. Somebody's at the door.
Okay.
Come back in 30 minutes, please. Sorry, oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. We're
Just come
listening to
back.
you.
Anyways, so those hourly prayers, it's a way of life. It's now I understand. It's like I'm vegetarian, for example, vegan, vegetarian, whichever one you want to call it. Bro, the level, they cannot come and be feeding you in the dream when you have already denied your flesh some certain kind of things. Like some of you will be dreaming some kind of funny dreams. It's because you have not, in the physical self, you never win. How you won't go winner for when you are out and snoring? How? The kind of energy and mental alertness that I need to be able to do some of these things, like I can't afford to be sick. And I'm not even there yet too. I'm still on the journey. I want to find the name of this particular guy that I watched yesterday. Let me just open YouTube. When I watched, and I highly recommend him. I was speaking to somebody, David Goggins. I don't know if you've heard of him. Hey, Jesus is Lord. You've not heard of him. I literally want to type it let me just type it for anybody who is listening. His name is David Goggins. Just go and Google him, watch his story on YouTube or whatever. This guy's story. I think he's the first Black American that's made it to the SEALs. And the kind of training, hey my God. After I listened to the kind of, somebody told me, a doctor told me something. He said, pain is not a bad thing. It is your perception of pain that is hurting you.
Of
It is
course.
your perception of pain that is hurting you, because it is either the pain of regret or pain of success, but something is going to cause something. You're going to have to pay. See, I don't want to let me just stop here and retract my stress.
I like that you mentioned that, because we have a
The
question
toughest guy ever.
on
Exactly.
pain.
Somebody just said it. That's who he is. That is who
I
he's
like that you mentioned it,
literally.
because pain is important. Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk about that as you go. Just go ahead. Pour
Literally.
everything
And
that is inside
let,
you.
let
Pour it out.
I will pour it, my sister. I think he's becoming my role. I think he's my role model now. There's two of them, but I think he has joined the list, honestly, because after I listened to him, the person that was telling me about him said, when you listen to this guy, you now start saying that, do you know what? He went to try and break a Guinness World Record of push-ups, and he failed twice live. Like, people, just imagine going for a record. You want to break a record and you go and you fail the first time, and you go the second time and you fail. What's going on? There was something that happened to him in the SEALs. If you watch it, at some point of the day, I think they have 13 hours of non-stop physical exercise. Don't quote me exactly, but I think that's what I heard. And at some point of the training, he broke his leg, and he couldn't stop because he had tried this SEAL. He's even SS. He's even SS. So physically, bro, he broke his leg and he was in pain. He was, just imagine like maybe the Air Force or the police, like the kind of physical training that they go through. And at some point, he breaks his own leg. And this is not even the first time. I think he broke his kneecap at the first time, and he was in healing. They had to go back, start again. Like, he had to go through this training 3 times, and this third time was his last, or like no other option. And he broke his leg, and he said, you know what, see, I'm at the end of this training. I can't stop now. If I stop now, I'm going to, like, I can't stop now. I just have to keep going. He continued till the pain became numb, and he couldn't feel anything. It's almost like, short of me saying this guy was mad. But that's the kind of resilience, that's the kind of mental toughness that you literally have to have for some. I did something recently, and to be honest, if I say it, if I discussed it with some people before doing it, they'd have been like, oh, you need to calculate, you need to do this, you need to consult, you need to be sure that this person. Bro, when God revealed to me how it looked like what I was doing in the realm of the spirit, it was like somebody's tree with her eyes closed and swinging with one hand. Like, I was literally acting on like, God, just take me through. I know that this is what you asked me to do. I don't care the lions that the enemy had. I don't even care. I don't even care. Just sort it out. Like, sort that out. I'm just going to do what you've asked me to do. I'm not stopping. I don't have a choice, because I can't live dead. It's either I live fearlessly or I live dead. Like, I can't. It's not an option. It's not an option. It shouldn't be an option for any one of us listening here. You can't live dead. Some people will be like, what is your own? And what is their own? You ask them. Somebody used to call me big head in secondary school. I say, your own is small. Who told you small is good? My aunt, who told you small is good? You need to have that kind of answer. Like, okay, I'm doing too much. You are doing too little. And keep moving. Be unapologetically you. Go and watch that guy. So, the reason why I'm even saying go and watch the story about David Goggins, he said, you can't hurt me. You literally can't hurt me, because he has reached the level of mental toughness that there's nothing beyond that. I don't know if anybody would be able to get to that capacity like he did. He's supposed to run how many 100, oh god, I can't remember the exact figures, but it's literally like almost running a marathon. He had to run a marathon almost the whole day. I think he got to maybe a couple of hours and his body was shutting down. Like he walked to the toilet and he couldn't hold himself from pulling on himself. Like it was that bad. It was that messy. Everything was shutting down. And he was like, how will I stop? Like, I don't even know what just clicked in his head. He was like, I've gone through worse pain. I've literally gone through worse pain. Like, and I went past that pain. So why should I stop now? Oh, the story we're talking about is my namesake. It's his name is David Goggins. Let me type his name, David Goggins. If you check his story on YouTube, I'll probably send it to you after this live. Oh, I can't hear you. And if you can hear me, I can't hear you.
Okay, I was muted. So this story you're talking about, David Goggins, is so profound because it really exemplifies what it is to live again and to live again against all odds. Because I always tell people that living again is not easy. It's not. It's not easy. It's actually very, very challenging. But the thing is, you have to know, you have to be driven by something stronger than yourself to be able to sustain your live again journey. Because in your live again journey, you need to live again, and again. Like you will need to be living again and again. Right? So what you're saying about this guy and the way you're describing him, I'm so intrigued and I can't really wait to go and just look at him, because you're saying he failed. He was on an IG live doing Guinness World Records and he failed. He went again and he failed. He's someone that, was getting to the end of the road and he broke his leg and he continued. How bad? I want to ask a question to everyone listening to us tonight. How bad do you want it? How bad?
Literally.
That's it.
That's all.
How bad do you want what you want? Because, Feladri Otoye says something all the time. He says, life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you really want. Life does not just give you what you want, because you can say you want something, but how far are you willing to go for that thing? What is the price you're willing to pay for that thing? And I don't mean this in a derogatory way. I'm not trying to tell you to go and become, an illegal person because you want to get a car. You want to steal a car because you want a car. You need a man and the man is married. You go and break his home. And then, that's not what we're saying here. We're saying that there is a commensurate price you need to pay to be that which you desire to be. There is something you need to do to become that person that you say you want to be. And until you're willing to pay that price, and it will come with a lot of challenges, but until you're willing to focus on that thing that you want and be willing to go through those challenges, you will never become that which you want or get that thing that you want. That's what we're really, really saying today. And that's what that David Goggins story is pointing out to me. I think I want to bring out something that you said about pain, so that we go to that question, right? You said you heard someone say pain is not a bad thing, it's a perception, it's the perception of pain that is hurting you, right? And I think that this perception is what can take somebody from merely existing to truly living, from merely existing to living again, where you experience a pain and you're like, okay, how do I look at this pain? What has this pain come to teach me? And what can I learn from this pain? Okay, now that this pain has come, who do I want to become? Do I want to let this pain kill me?
Nope.
Or do I want to live above this pain, or just live through the pain and understand the pain? Because pain has a cycle. Pain has a cycle. It's not going to be there forever. but there are things you need to do to be able to, process that pain and analyze that pain and really get the best out of that pain. I'm not going to talk much on that because I have a question for you on pain. But to be able to hold that, I want to say some of the things that you mentioned from David Goggins that I feel that someone that is joining or that is here needs to hear again. You said the guy said, I can't stop now. The guy said, I can't stop now. Some people are too quick to stop when they face any kind of challenge, no matter how small. Please, oh, I can't kill myself. Yeah, I beg, oh, no. And then you want to live again? You want to truly live? You want to truly live and you can't kill yourself? You have to kill. In fact, yourself is the first person that you kill. Self is the first person that needs to die for you to live again. You can't be so myself, oh me. If you are still me, I, myself, you are existing. I don't care whether you have 5 cars parked in your garage. I don't care if you are the chief of your you are the CEO of your institution. I don't care if they are calling you sa, ma, and they are bowing down for you. If you are still an I built this, I did this, I achieved this, I, everything about you is I. You need to die. Except a corn of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abided alone. That thing that you think you have is small compared to where God is taking you, but there is a death you need to die to step into that place that God is taking you to be. So you can't stop whenever you just face any challenge. I'm not doing it again. You have to continue. You have to continue. You have to keep moving, right? And then you said something. You said, Atinuke, you said, I cannot live dead. I cannot live dead. So for people that are wanting this dead thing, let's try to explain this difference between these different kinds of deaths, right? There is a death you need to die to live. Then there is you just being a walking dead, where you are dead, spiritually dead, physically dead, financially dead, mentally dead, emotionally dead. You are just dead. People are seeing you and they think that you are living, but you yourself, you know that
you are gone.
I don't go like this. You understand? So that's what she meant when she said, I can't live dead. That's what I'm trying to explain. I can't live dead, as in I can't just be living my life, as a walking dead. I need to live, right? And then she said to you listening to that, you can't live dead. And then she made sure to say, I don't have a choice. Until you think you don't, until you know that you don't have a choice, you have to live. And by live is truly living, not merely existing. You will not live again because it's a journey that is challenging, and you need those mindsets. I don't have a choice. I must live again. I will live again. I have decided to live again against all odds. That is what will keep you going, as you continue. And then you said something. You said, he fell so many times. He fell so many times. He fell so many times. And then you said, keep moving, be unapologetic. And that's where I'll stop before I go to the next question. This David Goggins guy, if you're listening to us, please, we are recommending, Atinuke is recommending that you go and get, and I'm actually going to go and, because I love Brazilian people. So I don't want to tell me too much. I'm going to go and check the guy out. David Goggins, she said he fell so many times. He broke his leg, but he kept going. That's powerful. Have you broken your leg? Yours might not be your leg, physical leg, but what have you broken? What has broken inside of you? What has broken outside of you? Who has broken your heart? Who has broken your trust? Who has broken your belief in God? Who has broken your mindset about life and finances? Do you think that you have to suffer to make money? Or do you think that money was not made for people like you? Who has broken something here? Who has broken it? It's time for you to live again. It's time for it to be fixed. It's time. It's time for it to be fixed, right? And I just want to use the opportunity to invite you listening to me to the Live Again outreach, especially if you're a woman. If you've been broken, it's time for you to be fixed. Live Again outreach is happening in 6 days, right? 6 days, right? 6 days. Can you believe it, sis? God. It's happening in 6 days, right? And it's to help women live again in all aspects of life. So please go to www.liveagain.com.ng/outreach to register for the Live Again outreach. It's time for those things that are those breaky. It's time for it to be mended. It's time for it to be fit. You were not like this. You were not born like this. God did not create anybody broken. Something broke you. Something broke you. For him, he broke his leg. I don't know what you have broken, but something broke you. You cannot keep. Yes, even after the guy went through that and he continued, after he finished, I'm sure he had to go for treatment. He had to go for treatment, right?
Do you know how
TK.
bad it was? Do you know how
Yeah.
bad this thing was? He broke his leg, and then he literally used duct tape to tape his
To
leg.
Chineke.
Tape his leg. Duct tape. And then so when he's running, it's bro, yeah, that guy, he's on another
Don't tell
level.
me the leg.
You know, because it's gonna be moving. Like he was still feeling the pain. It's not, but it got to the extent. You know how you feel so much pain that you now get numb, like you
Yeah,
can't now feel
emotional numbness.
anything. So that's where he now got to. That's literally, there's one of the races, and that's not the first time he even had that kind of thing. And you know what's funny? What even I think sets as a, I'm hearing this and I have to say it so that I don't forget it. This book called Man's Search for Meaning. Somebody who was locked in the prison, and he came out of prison and said that was the best time of his life. You know, that
Wow.
pain, yeah, literally, he went to prison and said that was the
Please
best time of his life.
mention the name
Like,
of the book again.
the book
So
is
someone can.
Man's Search for Meaning. Man's
Man's search for meaning.
for
Okay, I hope
meaning,
someone
yes.
got that.
Man's Search for Meaning. So with David Goggins, he had a very traumatic childhood. For him, even in his book, he said on the outside, you would look at him because he was living in some of the, from the outside, his father was this, his mother did this, they had this, they had that. Immediately the doors were shut. His father switched doors, boom, and the story was something else. But that set a foundation for him, because it was either I die like this, like, okay, something happened. I know that at some point he actually was looking for somebody he went to go and live with, because he wanted to learn how to be like that person. Like, I want to be like this guy. I want to, like, he literally called the man and said, please just let me live with you for 1 week, just to understudy your thought process that makes you who you are. Because he failed at, I think, trying to get into the seal at first, and now went to go and be spraying cockroaches like a pesticide guy for shops. Like, let me use Dunkin' Donuts for example. And he gained weight, he lost himself, it was something else. And he said, no, he was earning 1,000 at the time. Then that's how many years ago? $1,000. So it's not really bad. You can pay your bills, you can eat. It wasn't that bad. But he was just existing. That was not his purpose. That was not his purpose. He was just existing. And his mother was about to get married after she left her husband, who was very abusive, you know, and they murdered the person the day before she was about to get married. They murdered the man. So, like, there's some kinds of, I just remember this guy, this man,
Problem.
problem, like, bro. But there was meaning in that pain. There was meaning in that pain, and that meaning came when he needed to become a SEAL. I've gone through worse things. Like, I've gone through worse. This thing is not bad. I've actually gone through worse, and I was able to still be. So whatever I'm going through now, I've gone through it before. Don't worry, we'll find a way. This is not the worst thing that is going to happen to me. It's not going to take me out. He ran a race that I think blood was even coming out from, like, everywhere you could imagine. I'm trying to be careful with my words because we're on live. And his wife called his mom and said, oh, we need to go to the hospital. And he said, no, I worked for this pain. I need to feel what this pain is like. I actually want to dwell in that pain and feel it, so that my brain knows that I actually went through this thing. And I have recorded that the next time I need to go through a challenge, I have the capacity to go past this because I have done it. It was that bad.
My new
It
role
was
model.
it was that bad.
Because this guy is me. That's how I
This
think.
guy,
This is how I think. This is
bro,
how I think.
bro. So what is it that you are now going through that you want to
Like,
not kill
what
yourself?
is it? What
What is
is
it?
the thing that you
What
don't
is
want
it?
to have? What is the
What is
worst?
it?
that
What
can
is it?
what
What is it actually? What?
please
What?
if there's anything you take from this IG live is a
Ah,
mindset, that mindset that looks challenges in the eye and says, okay, so bring it on. Like what yeah, so what your
it's
screen is
hanging. Let me
frozen, I
wait
can't
for her.
see you.
Yes, can
Okay,
you still see me? Yes,
yeah,
it's
I can
good. I
see
can
you
see
now.
you now.
I can
Yes.
see you now.
He
I
said
can
he
see you.
used to watch. I haven't watched Rocky before, but because of him, I want to watch it. He said as a child he used to watch Rocky, and there was only one part he kept on repeating, where they were in the match, and it looked like the opponent was about to win. It looked like a lot of us are at that point where it looks like our opponent is about to win. God has said you will win, but he did not say he's going to fight your fight for you per se. He's not, he will fight your fight for you, but the fact that it's your own fight, he will not fight it for you. He will not fight that one for you, but he will fight for you. Yeah, you say, yes, I will fight for you, yes. But there are some things that you need to do for yourself. You and it's responsibility. Living again comes with responsibility, and you must be willing to take that responsibility, whether you like it or not. There is a place of prophecy. There is a way of okay, God has done, yes, See, even to be soft girl, if there's responsibility for soft girl life.
I
There,
heard before.
there is responsibility.
Yeah,
So
there is.
you literally, and I think a lot of that comes with knowledge. Knowledge,
Yeah,
knowledge, knowledge. Seek the
get
knowledge.
knowledge
Surround
as much
yourself
as you
with
can.
literally go and seek people that have gotten the results that you have. Be humble. Just go and seek those people. And, okay, this person has gotten these results. I was sitting in class among some people, and I said, I'm very comfortable. I'm very happy that I'm around this kind of people because I feel safe in the airspace now because you guys are knowledgeable. You guys know something. I know that if my family is on board with you guys and you guys are the pilots, I'm calm because you guys have put in the work. Your license, you can't buy a pilot's license. There's no way around it. You can't buy it. It can't be bought. And the pass mark is 75. Pass, that you just passed that. Okay, you passed. Is actually 75. What is the pass mark of life? What is your own, like, how would you know that you came to this life and you actually passed? Like, okay, not that you did not, okay, what, like, I don't know how else to put it to you. That you came to this life and you actually passed. What is that scorecard for you? Because you need to start assessing yourself with that scorecard. Okay, this is my purpose. This is what God said I should do. God said I should be a monk. God said I should just be in one mountain. See, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't. Don't wait till you have a near-death experience. Oh my God, I almost died. That you now. It's either you see, you don't want to ever be in a place where life gives you. They say, Tony Robbins used to say this, that the pain or the how does he say it? The pain will push you more to achieve than pleasure. So somebody says, oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. I'm sorry. You want to buy a car. Okay, maybe somebody wants to buy a car. Say, I don't have money. Put that same person, God forbid, and this is I'm not being insensitive with this analogy. I just want to paint a picture and put a gun to their mother's head, who they love, and say, go and find that money. Somehow. If they don't find
Money
that
go
money,
show.
they'll find half. Exactly. Because the pain of losing their mother is more painful than the pleasure of getting that car. The pain, it has not hit you to the place of where you are in pain, that the pain of not achieving my life's purpose, it has not reached you there. That's why you are still, okay, I just want to sleep. I just
Yeah,
want to snuff.
because the
I
person
just
may
want
not even know. And sis, let me try to come in here. The person may not know the and it's not even really about the life's purpose, because like you said, sometimes is that you just know that this is what I'm supposed to do now. Nobody has all the answers. You just feel like, oh, I should be
Absolutely.
doing this. I have a passion for this, and then you start doing it, and before you know what's going on, it becomes clearer to you. So I think is you not knowing what is at stake is you thinking that, and let me use this analogy because I'm going to ask you another question now. Let me use an analogy of Joseph and Potiphar's wife and the throne, right? Joseph went through prison, and then he got into Potiphar's house, and then another challenge sprung up. What was that challenge? It was a woman, Potiphar's wife, and then he was torn between, should I sleep with her or should I not? If I don't, these are the consequences. If I do, this will be the benefits of me sleeping with this person. But where am I going? Is this where I want to be? Is this who God wants me to be? What? And then he said no, because I believe that somewhere in Joseph's mind he knew that I am more than this. I cannot be doing this because I'm more than this. And if Joseph had slept with Potiphar's wife, what would have happened was he would have been balling, but it would have been for a little while, because he would have been the head slave. He would have been commanding everybody, and he, maybe in the end he might even tell Oga, I beg you, me that will sleep with your wife, I beg. What do you want to say? Last, we can only imagine what would have been Joseph's end if Potiphar found out that he was sleeping with his wife. But Joseph did not go through that route. I am sure it was very difficult for him to say no to her, because he had a comfortable house compared to the prison he was coming from.
Absolutely.
But because he did not settle, he got into the promise, he got into the throne. So many times when we are saying, let's not fulfill, like you said there is a pain of not fulfilling purpose, and people don't know, they don't feel that pain because they don't know that this is what is at stake. And if I fulfill purpose, see where I'm going to be. They can't see any picture. They can't. I think some people cannot see where they are going. And it's not about seeing the whole picture. It's just having a glimpse of your future, that this is where I am going. And because of where I'm going, I'm not going to allow all these little things derail me from there. Can you speak to why it is important to live again? What is at stake? Because some people don't know. They just feel like, I beg, I'm living, I'm balling. Because you can be balling in your own eyes. Like you said, that guy was getting a salary of getting a wage of $1,000, and he was working. So it was not like he was suffering. He was paying his bills, but he just kept feeling like, this is not it. So why? What is at stake, Captain TK? What is really at stake? Why should a person live again?
I think beyond self, because I don't know, and this just came to mind. One time at work, I was at work and somebody came up to me, a fueler, the person who would actually he's not the fueler, he's the fire person. So just in case there's an emergency, he stands by the side so that he can quench it. So he just came, and he came up to me and he said, you're not looking like yourself today. And I said, I don't even know what this guy's name is till tomorrow. He said, you're not looking like yourself. I said, what do you mean I'm not looking like myself? And he said, oh, you're not smiling. You're normally very smiley. And I said, and to be honest with you, I was going through a tough time, quote unquote. So I wasn't really in the best of moods, but I didn't even know that I was wearing what I was going through, that somebody who doesn't even know me that well could even pick it. And I said, okay. I said, well, thank you so much. And I just talked to myself, Tinka, cheer up, it's not the end of the world. And then the next time he saw me, he said, okay, now this is you. It's as little as that. Because you don't know, and like you said, you don't even have to be, it doesn't have to be a grand or grandiose vision or goal, like, oh, I want to change the world, I want to, it's not that, it may not be that deep. Some people may be noticing patterns in their family. Start with your family units. This person died. This second person died. This third person died. Is that not enough? Like, should he have even gotten to that extent that you now know that?
Yeah.
You start knowing, okay, this person, the way their finances are going. Okay, this. Well, I'm not going to let it come to me and stay that way. I want to change something.
Yeah.
As a child, I remember growing up, then I was not even I think I was born very audacious. Life happened and tried to shut my mouth. And now God put megaphone in front of my mouth. And I remember as a child, I used to observe I don't want to be very specific, it was a group of people. And in genealogy, in the next generation, I'm that person from my own family. And I said to myself, I don't want to be like this person. I don't want to be in my own position, in my own generation, like this person. So something I have to be conscious to do is as little as, you know how they say, firstborns, they are always, their own problem is too much. This one, that one, that one. It's only there. I'm a firstborn. And I was like, man, I don't know, but something's got to change. It's as little as that, because you are now the repairer of the breach. Wherever somebody made a mistake, you have now corrected it for the people that are, you will be dead and gone, and people will be thanking God. That is, God gave me a word one time I was in somewhere in Isaiah, I think it was Isaiah 61 or something, and he said, you would be the repairer of the breach.
Yes.
You will be the repairer of the breach. Something went wrong somewhere in generations before you, and you are going to come and correct it. And at the time, I was just like, okay. I mean, I take it, I take note of it. But now I have to keep saying it to myself. Atinuke, you are going to be the repairer of the breach. I don't know what that breach is. It might be the breach in my office. It might be breach in my industry. It might be the breach in the. There's certain things that I don't stand for. If I go somewhere and you offer me alcohol, I'm going to say no unapologetically. I'm not trying to preach anybody to tell anybody what to do with their lives, but I don't drink, and that's confidence to say no might be the confidence somebody needs around me to say no to somebody there. Like, they don't want to say no, but they're trying to be cool. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, she said no. It's as little as that. We lost somebody in my 100 level. They were just messing around, betting or whatever, and they drank alcohol. And the next, not one person, they just drank, and the person is dead. The person is dead. It's as little as small little steps like that. You don't even need to be, oh, I want to turn the world around. No, from your little corner. I want to make my office a safe place. In my office, it's not as if we are working. Like, it doesn't feel like it, because energy, like we're just having fun, because there must be a repairer of the breach. There must be. And it is your own decision whether you are going to. And the funny thing is that, you see this God there, you don't know how to waste time. You give your assignments. You see, a lot of the ideas, people say, oh, you copied me, you didn't copy me, you did this, I wanted to do this. God has dropped it in you. And he's a very diligent person. And he said, do something. And you are still calculating, you are still.
Yeah.
Another person is there, and he will drop it.
Yeah.
He will drop it to that person. It's that little. It's as little as praising God. Somebody making themselves available to sing a song of praise to minister to souls. As little as that. Don't. Why are we shouting at an Elbasi up and down? Is this the first person to sing praise song? No. But he has as midnight praise. Because in somewhere in the Bible, he caught the rema that Paul and Silas, they prayed, they sang, and the Holy Ghost came down. But they were in the prison. To be in a state of prison and to be praising God, it's logically, it's like, how am I in prison and I'm praising?
Yeah.
It contradicts.
Yeah.
But that is the kind of knowledge, and at a specific
And
time.
perception too helps. How are you
Perception.
perceiving the prison?
It's as
Because
little as
you said
that.
something about that guy. Please hold your thoughts. Don't forget
No
it, please,
problem.
because you are hitting very important points. You said something that the guy, I looked for it. He said he came out of the prison and said that was the best time of his life.
Yes.
It takes a
Do you know?
mindset. It takes a being grounded in your identity. It takes a knowledge of who you are to go through prison and say that this was the best time of my life. So continue.
I even want to talk about that, because as you said that, I remembered Nelson Mandela. The thing about prison, there was one show I was watching one time about some people who got into prison and what they did. And prison is literally, some people are moving around, but they are actually in prison.
Yes, now.
Somebody has gone somewhere and said, this one, you are not going past this. This
The
is your
prison.
limit. They have imprisoned you, but you think that you are free. You, in
You are
your
free,
mind, you are
yeah. And
physically
sometimes
free.
they've imprisoned themselves with their own mindsets and
Exactly.
their beliefs about themselves as well.
Exactly. And you know what the irony of this guy's book, what he said? He said, they've put me in a cage, right? Physically, but they have no control over my mind. That's one thing. You see that one? You can't take it from me. You can put me here, but you see this one? And that is prison is a place of solitude. It's a place of separation. How many times in your life are you going to get an opportunity to be in a place without distraction from the outside world? That's the way he was thinking. And that is why when he came out a better person. That is why prison is class. When you're in class, you can't, your teacher says, I don't want to go out. I don't want you to go out at this time. It's just a different word. Okay, now it's a classroom because there's free will to an extent. You can go to the bathroom, you can do this, you can do that. But it is your meaning. Man search for meaning. What is the meaning you are attaching
meaning
to?
Yes,
Man search for meaning.
Very important.
Search for meaning.
If not, please hold on. Ah, my God. Please share this live with somebody. There are too many people that are existing. This may just be what they need to hear. Please, I beg you, share this live. Oh my goodness. See, let me just say this, and I always say it in almost every Live Again series. It is the same sword that Goliath planned to use to kill David, that David used to cut off his head.
Period.
That same thing that wants to kill you. By the time you begin to think about it differently, you begin to see it differently, you would come out of it stronger. I promise you. Even if the thing was supposed to kill you, then you now say, kill who? And then you now begin to see, look at what she's saying, that the guy said, prison is an opportunity for me to be alone with myself, is a class. Who does that?
Literally.
Who thinks that?
Literally.
And if the devil had known, he would have, like, who put you in prison? If they had known, who said you're not good enough? Who said you will not amount to anything? Who said it is over for you? Who are you believing? Hey, if they had known, they wouldn't have said it to you.
Let me even say it on this live.
Yes.
If they had known, they would have not tested me, because that is what gingered me to come on Instagram. If they had known, see, my enemies, let me just do this PSA. If people knew, you would have not tried, because it is your trying that now gingered me. That what is this? What is this? And I need you guys to have that kind of mindset.
That's it.
How?
Honestly, I hope that you're getting fired up listening to us, because that's the intention. We need you to know that whatever is coming to kill you does not have the capacity to kill you. It is not. This is not motivational speech. Nope. It's just what it is. You are stronger than you think. You are more powerful than you think. The only thing is you believe a lot of lies. You've allowed yourself to believe things that are not true about yourself, your life. I don't care who saw vision and said that you will die. As long as you tell yourself that I will not die, I will live to declare. And then you begin to take conscious steps and efforts and become intentional. And you have surrendered yourself to the Lord, though, because you are not the owner of your life, whether you think you are the owner of your life or not. But I'm saying that nobody, by the time, let me share something, and this is coming to me. So someone said she had a dream. Before she had that dream, people were calling her, I had a dream about someone close to her. And then she said she didn't listen to them until someone that is her friend called her and said, and she said, this person's dream usually comes to pass. She now shared the dream with someone. The person now said, if everybody believes this dream, right, it may not come to pass, or that is just but if you believe this dream, if you believe it, it will happen. So you cannot afford to believe this dream that yes, people are telling you, but you cannot afford to believe the dream, because the moment you believe this dream, it will happen. And so she now stood against the dream and said it will not stand, it will not come to pass, it will not happen. And indeed, it did not happen. By the time you believe it, there's nothing anybody can do about it. It will happen. Because there is a law of belief that says that you get what you want. That's just a law. So this, I pray that we are activating something in you. We are pushing you out of mediocrity, forcing you out of wrong beliefs about yourselves and wrong beliefs of life, that you can actually live again. It doesn't matter the whatever, how bad. There's Lazarus situation of, the man was dead for how many days. There's the one of the dry bones. There are different kinds of things that may have happened to you. Yours might be like the one of the issue of blood that had 12 years problems. Yours might be 10 years. It might be 5. It might be 2. It might be 3. No matter what it is,
No
you can live.
matter.
We are living examples
Living
that you
example here.
can live again. If I can live again, you can live again. If Captain TK can live again, you can live again. I went through abuse of all sorts, but I'm here and I'm living again. So if I can live, you can live again. So there is no time to check
Something
time. Yeah.
something that comes to mind when you say that. I don't think you went. I wouldn't call it, and I'm being careful when I'm saying this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
When you said that, that just came to my head that there has to be a lot of, because when people, you have that mentality, you've seen light.
Yeah.
I just don't want people who have gone through maybe abuse in some sense to take the role of a victim, because that's what the devil wants. You've gone through
Yes.
training.
Now.
You've gone. I don't want you to. Because I don't think there's nobody technically that hasn't. Well, maybe there are people, I don't know, but people have gone through abuse wherever. It could be at the workplace. It could be in their homes, their parents,
Yeah.
blah
Your
blah blah.
parents. Parents
It
are
could
the
be.
ones
It
that
could be.
start it now.
Yes.
Parents are the
Yes.
first abusers. Many
Oh
parents are the
my
first
God.
people
Oh
that
my
start it.
God.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. But I would use the word training. You've gone through training.
Mm.
You've gone through training. You've gone through training to know what to accept and what not to accept. So it's still,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a word that's trying to come to define that. It's not meaning now. It's the transformative use of what to interpret an experience. I can choose to define an experience as something other than what somebody is trying to project to me. Because if you come, this is this, and then they label, because people are so quick to label, oh, she's this, oh, she's that, oh, this happened to her. No, that's not true. That didn't happen to me. That happened for me.
Of course.
Because if that didn't happen, I
I
wouldn't be
will not
where
be
I
the
am.
woman I am today. And
So,
this is not trying to say
so,
these things.
hmm,
This is true. But
ah,
wait, but this is actually the
is
truth.
it true?
Sincerely, I feel
Hey,
grateful. I am grateful.
I'm more
And
than
when that man
grateful.
said prison was, he said prison was the best. And how did he speak the English? He said he came out of the prison and said that was the best time of his life. I know that the man
Yeah,
is not just saying it
it's
because I came out of
not.
abuse. And I can tell you that when I look back, I say, if I had not gone through that, I would not be the woman I am today.
Mm,
I will not be. There's no how, because I was so into myself, so
mm,
me, so full of me and my achievement and me and everything about me and my
mm,
plan and my me. It was just about me.
mm.
There was no room for God to disrupt or do something that would, and that's the thing, like Captain TK said, there is a shaking that will happen. It doesn't have to be a near-death experience. Somebody said, humble
Doesn't.
yourself before God, or you choose your humble. If
Period.
you humble yourself before God, at least it is more culpable. Let me use that word. I don't even know if it exists. But if God humbles you, you may not recover to tell the story.
Mm,
Yeah, you may not recover. So just carry yourself as you're listening to us. Carry yourself and go and align. Go and surrender. God, I've listened to
mm.
these two women. They've been talking since. What is the will that you have for my life?
Mm,
Am I in the center of your will? Or is there a turn I need to turn? Is there an aligning I need to align? Please align me. Some of you are not getting results because you're on the wrong road.
mm,
Some of you are very fast and you have moved fast, but direction is more important than speed. Where are you really going? Did God send you there? Are you like Jonah that is going to Tarshish instead of Nineveh?
mm,
My brother, my sister, it is time for you to live again. And in this case of what was saying and in the context, it's time for you to make that U-turn and go and ask God, where did you really plant me? I want to be a pilot because Captain TK is a pilot. Do you want me to be a pilot? Is that what you have for me? I want to
exactly.
be a doctor because my father said I must be a doctor. But God, what do you want me to be? I have been doing this business for this period of time. But is this really what you want me to do? I want to marry this guy. I want to marry this girl. Is this really what God wants me to do? By the time you make that turn, let me not lie to you, it will come with consequences. You will cry. You will feel pain. People will insult you. People will label you. People will say you are stupid, you are mad, you don't have sense, or you're not woke. They will say all sorts of things. But by the time you make that turn and you begin to stay on the path that was ordained for you, you would see your life begin to make progress. Not form of progress like we want people to think we are progressing. The real progress. And over time, people will now understand why you're on that journey and they will be able to appreciate you. So don't, like Tinuke said, be unapologetic. But the only way you can be unapologetic is when you have a conviction that this is who God called me to be and this is where He called me to go. And you are going there, you're not looking at anybody's face. Last, everybody will be all right.
We'll be all
Sis,
right.
this has been amazing. In fact, I don't even know if there's a need to ask you how to handle pain or how do you handle pain. But I think that we should just go there because we're already done. We've spoke about a lot of things. What living again means, why it's important to live again. What steps did you take when life knocked you down? And you've shared quite a lot. For those who are just joining, you have to watch the replay because Captain Atinuke has been on fire. Like, you have to watch it, right? A lot of things have been said. But I want to ask you, for someone listening or for someone that, because I feel like I need to say at this point that numbing pain is a temporary solution that needs to be addressed. When you numb pain, you have not dealt with it. And so I like when you now said the same person that kept running when he broke his leg and until he did not feel the pain again and he became numb, is the same person that said, I want to feel this pain. I want to feel what the pain is. I want to go through this thing. I want my brain to register that I went through this thing so that whenever I face something else or something similar, I can be able to, overcome it. And that is really what it is, like going through the pain and allowing the cycle of the pain to take effect, not allowing the pain kill you, but not denying that pain, that it doesn't exist and keeping it one side. Because if you do, that's when you will never ever live again, because you're abandoning that path that's supposed to draw you to purpose and draw you into your calling. So sis, can you speak to that? When you face pain, how do you handle it? What are the things that you do? Apart from, okay, you've mentioned some things, okay, I'm sure maybe God will be inside because anybody that does not release their pain to God, but just so someone just joining us and trying to understand what we're talking about, just share, how do you handle pain when you go through pain and you're like, oh, what do I do? What do you do to handle that pain?
I take advantage of pain.
Hey, that's why you're my
Advantage
sister
of
now.
it.
That's why you're my sister.
Honestly,
Hey!
God. So like you said, there's a cycle to it. Like when it first happened, sometimes it's different waves. There's like anger, disappointment, denial. Like there's the English, the steps and all that. But I can't stay in denial, and I can't deny that thing did not happen to me. It did, but how can I take advantage of this thing that just happened and make it serve me? That's the immediately, and I try to make the process or the journey very, like some I don't, and this is I'm being very careful too because I've been speaking to so many people all around the world. This is just what I do. I don't like to stay in if a season can be short, I don't see why I should make it longer. So what I'm trying to say is that
Wow.
if I need to mourn something or I need to grieve, I need to feel, if I don't need it to be that long or longer, I would just, okay, I've got it, and then okay, what 10 things can I get from this? Like let's say God forbid something bad happens, and it's not how I wanted it to go. Okay, what 10 immediately? I don't know if you've read this woman's book, Rhonda Barnes. It's the gratitude book, and one of the exercises is when something bad happens or something is in a bad place or a bad, will I call it, because one of the examples she gave was like a bad relationship or a bad transaction. Let me use the transaction. And she was say, okay, in that transaction, what are the 10 things I can learn from this? 10. There need to be 10. So that from the regret and disappointment, because you're on a wavelength, you're attracting, if you stay too long in regret, you're going to keep attracting regrets. Things that will make you just be constantly on that energy, that wavelength. So I need to quickly, because I know that is not my core energy. I know where my energy valve is. When my natural, I know what that is. So when I tip off, or I notice it, and I'm just aware, okay, what just happened? And I need to get myself quickly back into. So I would find a way, okay, Tinker, how can I take advantage of this? Is there something is there a knowledge I can sell from this thing that just
Come
happened?
on!
Because we need to pay
See
bills.
my sister. Oh.
Or literally, is there something that, are there a group of people who are suffering from the same thing that I had just gone through and haven't gone out of that need to get this thing that I have now figured out that, oh, okay, don't do this. It's like marriage, for example. I don't know. There's some things that I want to say about marriage. I don't know if I should say it now. But the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked. Don't be means don't be. Now, if you are, anything you see, you take it. His grace will abide. But there's a wavelength. Darkness and light, they cannot stay at the same time in the same place. It's not possible.
Yeah.
There's going to be, it's either the darkness will overshadow the light, or the light will overshadow, but something must happen.
That's it. Bam.
And if you are light, you need to be light. And see, it's, iron sharpens iron.
Iron.
If you're in
Wood
a
does
room,
not sharpen iron.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It cannot work. It just can't. It work. So if something happens to me, if I feel pain like this, how can I take advantage? What have I learned from this thing? What is that something? And I always look inwards. One thing I've learned to do, because before growing up, I would really blame, it was because of you.
Yeah.
You did it.
Everybody,
And I
you
say,
blame the
no.
whole world.
I blame
Except yourself. You
everything
cannot live
but
again with that
myself.
attitude. You can't live again like that. You have to
You
first
can't
take responsibility.
live again.
Find a way that
Take
inside
responsibility.
Yeah. If not, you won't
Take
live again.
responsibility. What did I do? How did I actually enable this to happen? Because there must have been a part I played that allowed this to actually happen.
Yeah.
If you're attracting a certain type of people, there's something in you that is a magnet to those kinds of people. And you need to look inwards and say, Tinuke, why are you attracting this kind of person?
Yeah.
Why am I attracting this? There must be something in me that brings fly the pet for shit now.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
You know they will go to fly.
See.
Fly know they go for fire.
Yes.
So
we die.
You need to exactly. It's the same thing. Me pain, I find my way to take advantage of it. Because there's for me, personally.
Yeah.
Thank
you for sharing that.
My move.
I think what Tinuke is saying is that don't waste your pain. In a nutshell, your pain is valuable. It may not be pleasant, but it's valuable. Don't waste it. And she also shared how you will not waste it by the questions that you ask. We spoke about perception of pain. It's so important the way you see pain. If you see pain that is coming to kill you, you will keep running away from the pain. And every time you run away from pain, you can meet the pain somewhere else. So it's not to run away from the pain. It's to understand that all growth, there must be pain. In all growth, there must be pain. So how am I going to take this pain? And how can I position myself to be able to go through this pain, to find myself on the other side? Right. I think that's what we're really saying here. And then she said I take advantage. I always write these things down because I always want to highlight it at the end of the live. I take advantage of pain. And she asks herself, how can I take advantage of pain? Someone that is listening to us, Tinuke just answered the question on how she handles pain. So please listen. She says, I take advantage of pain. I ask, how can I take advantage of this thing that happened to me and make it serve me? And that is you understanding that I am the one that has the control. I am the one that I am the one that has the control. Life is really 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. So by the time you respond in the appropriate way, you can take that thing that was supposed to come and kill you and kill it, just like David and Goliath. He wanted to kill David. David took the same sword and killed him. And so if you want to live again, this is something you have to understand. whatever is coming to happen to you is coming to happen for you. It's going to serve you. But if you don't see yourself big enough, if David did not see himself big, he could have not fought Goliath. Because in Goliath's mind, who is this small chinkily boy? But David did not see himself as a small chinkily boy.
No.
So for you, your own Goliath might be what you're going through. But you have to see yourself big enough, like David saw himself. If you don't see yourself big enough, you cannot, that thing that is supposed to kill you will kill you. So you ask the question, you said, how can I make it serve me? Because you are actually the one with the power. The problem is that you have been giving the power to the wrong things and the wrong people. That person broke your heart because you gave that person the power to break your heart. That person insulted you because you gave that person the power to insult you. That person saw you finish because you gave that person the power to see you finish. And how do you do that? By looking at yourself less and seeing the person as one big, this person is valuable, I must marry this person, I must do this, I must, the job that is less than you, you are seeing the job as, hey, this job. Then they are pricing you like crayfish, and you took the job and they are paying you 50,000 naira, and you are feeling they are doing me a favor. No, it's because you don't know who you are. You don't know. That's why you have been accepting shit. And like TK said, flies go to where there's shit, but fly cannot go to fire. The fly will burn one time. So this IG live should make you to get angry and say, how do I get on fire? How do I become a person on fire? How do I start making sure that anything that is coming near me is not killing me? I'm the one that is, drawing them with my energy. It gets to a place of mindset and, understanding who you are. And then you said, if a season can be short, I don't see any reason why I should make it longer. Captain TK, you are such, I don't know what to say to you, but I'm so thankful for you. Because people don't know that the reason why they stay in seasons is because of them. It's not because it's you that is making that thing long. It can be shorter. It can. But if you're not doing that inner work, you're not paying that price. You cannot go to GS3 if you've not passed through GSS1. You cannot become, like TK said, you cannot fly some planes. You have to take the exam. The reason why you're staying long there is because you're failing the exam. You have failed that exam. All you need to do is to go and repeat that exam. But you're trying to dodge the exam. How do you want to be promoted? How do you want to fly that plane? How do you want to be that person that God said you will be when you have been dodging all your exams, passing shortcuts, trying to make the world see you a certain way? You are so focused on how people see you. You're not thinking about how is God seeing me. Like TK said, what is the scorecard? Have I passed? Am I in 75? Am I in 70? Where am I safe in this thing?
Where am I really?
If you don't do that, you go nowhere.
Do you know how bad it is for us? If you get 74, you are going to repeat the exam. 74. If you actually write an exam and get 74, you are going to repeat the exam. And I'm like, okay, wait, what about God?
It's not This
is
so powerful.
It's not just one
it's not
mark.
just 1 point to become a pilot and have a pass mark.
It's over 50 now. But because they understand the sensitivity of the realm that we are working and we are dealing with lives.
Yes.
Right?
Only one
mistake. Put the scorecard higher.
Yeah.
Exactly. But until we have that mindset in our lives, we will still be taking things for granted. We feel like, I can go to life and just I can just show up. I can just show up and it's gonna be fine. Yeah. I'm gonna just show up. I watched a video about Jerry. I will just use this last analogy. And he was talking about when he just started, when he was in the church he was in before. And the pastor's wife, there was a case. They used to bring like different people's cases. So this particular person they brought to him, it was a mad woman. She was mad. Like, I mean, mentally, obviously, but we call it mad over here. And the pastor's wife gave him that woman as an assignment. So he was like, why can't she, like, mad person, that's like maybe pastor or pastors, why are you bringing it to me? And he will
Why
want
you
to
not
pray
cast out the madness?
the
Why you
madness. Do you
why you
understand?
bringing?
Which one is this one? So
Oh
instead
God,
of
that's okay.
the mad person will be chasing Pastor Jerryism, the man will be running. At some point, he wasn't coming to church. That what is this woman's own? When she sees him, she will be laughing. She will just be making a mockery of him. And he was like, what is this? But whenever he noticed that anytime the woman goes close to the pastor's wife, she will just, as in something will just make her quiet. And she was like, he was like, It was so bad that if he enters a church, the mad woman has not seen him. The mad woman will be saying, like he has come. If the spirit in that will be telling him, like, let me go and disturb that guy that does not have fire. Until he started waking
Hey,
up. He started waking up midnight, praying, increasing his fire, increasing his fire, increasing his fire. One day he was coming into the church, and the next thing that happened, this same mad woman started shouting, fire, there's fire, there's fire, there's fire. And that was how he won that case. What changed between when the mad woman was chasing him and when she now started shouting fire was the intensity. It wasn't that the capacity wasn't in him, but he in the place of prayer, he wrestled. He wrestled and increased his intensity that even when he entered, the mad woman wasn't now seeing him, she was seeing the fire in him. And that's what we are seeing today, that he can come on the prayer altar and be like, and people are like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And cancer is just going. Things are just, is a terminator, like some kinds of things that you've never heard. And the reason why is because he lost his mother.
he has paid the price. He has gone
The,
through pain.
the pain and the loss. You see that
If you don't
loss?
go through pain, you cannot become anything. Forget
See,
it.
the, the,
Can't.
the, the thing is that many people have also lost their loved ones,
And
but they did,
did not leverage it or something. They did not pass. They did not pass the how
they
should we
did
put
not
it?
even
They
do
did not
anything.
grow through it.
They did not
Yeah.
even do anything with it.
Hmm.
And he said that
Hmm.
his mother was even telling him before she died that, do you know that if the power was in you to pray for me and get well, I'll be well. And that's what he's doing now. That's what he's doing now. Unfortunately, it was after her death. And he will cry when he's talking about it. You see, when he's praying and he's crying, I'm like, how is a man so compassionate? Like, he's like welling
Yeah.
out. He
It's
has
what he
seen
went
the
through.
depth of. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And
It's what he went
he
through.
has searched for meaning of that pain, of that journey. And
Yeah.
it has
He's
made
not
him
wasting it. He's
serious.
not wasting it at all.
He did
He's
not waste
not.
that pain. He
Stop
did not
wasting
waste
your
the journey. He
pain.
did not waste it.
Stop.
That is
Oh
what
God, this is
has
so
made
powerful.
him who he is today. That everybody is shouting. I don't even. I'll be like, who is this guy?
Yeah,
When the first time I heard him praying, I was like, why are they
you cannot
shouting?
not know Pastor
You
Jerry, even
cannot
if you try not to
not
know
know
him.
him,
If you try not
whether
to
you
know
like
him,
it
you
or
must
not.
know him
You will know him
by fire, by
by
force.
fire,
So
by
stop
force.
trying so hard to get people to know you. I think we should flesh this out and milk it, because this thing that you're saying is powerful. You know that guy that sang finally, the Lord has done it finally. I don't know if you watched the Hallelujah. I was in the Hallelujah Festival at Eco Hotel and Suites live when the guy shared his testimony. He said one day he said when he released that song that he was nobody bought the song, nobody did anything,
Imagine.
and that in fact he was going to the UK and he was about to be deported that day that he wrote that song. Yes, that day he went through so much problems. The day that he released that song, that he went through so much problems. He said that one day God told him that he should close his Nigerian account and give all that money to Pastor Nathaniel Bassi for Hallelujah Challenge. And he was like, all my everything. He said yes, he closed the account and he sold the money. That he was even looking for how to tell Pastor Nathan and Ambassador, I want to sow into your ministry, come and release a word or something. He tried everything. He was not able to get Nathan Ambassador to say anything over him, and he left it. And then in 2024, somehow Tanibasi hears his song on Instagram or somewhere, and he's like, who sang this song? And he keeps singing the song during Hallelujah Challenge. And then he says, go and look for the guy. I want the guy to come and perform the song live.
Wow.
That guy there was a debt. there was a debt. He sold. Do you know what is to clear your account? It's a type of debt.
It's a type of
Except
debt,
the one of it
financial debt.
falls to the ground and dies, it abides alone. The debt that he had to die for him to live again and become, because he wasn't on his son, nobody knew him. Cleared his account and this is the thing. I'm not saying you should go and clear. This is the thing. There is for you to pushing away, and that is your key to living again. And if you've not done it, you cannot live again. You know why I mentioned this thing? Because of this example that you just gave about what's his name, Pastor Jerry, and everything.
Yes.
God knows. You should stop focusing so much on, I want them to know me, I want to be famous, I want to be, I just really want everybody to know me, I want to know me. See, can you go and pay the price? Theophilus Sunday was in the north singing and being who God. Now we know him. Apostle Joshua Selman in the north. Even if you are in the bush, as far as you are passing those exams and those tests, you are not jumping the exams. God is saying, do this, you did it. Do this one, you did it. Do this course, you did it. Okay, follow that person, you follow the person. It may look like you're not growing or nothing's happening to you, but as long as you're doing it, you will find yourself on the other side and you will begin to live again. I think that's really what I picked from what you said about Pastor Jerry, because he went through all that pain, but he didn't waste it. Number one. Number two, he was not focused on getting people to know him. He was focused on becoming through the things he was going through and following the process. And today, people are calling him Pastor Jerry up and down, and nobody can ignore him. I don't know if you can hear me, because it looks like your screen is frozen. Man, we have to run, because this has been, in fact, I just feel like God just hijacked this IG live. Let's just go, because I want to ask you another question, but I'm not going to ask you about if you're a resilient woman, because of course you are, right? Even the mindset you've been sharing and the way you see yourself, the perception, and you're just reframing and interpreting. Yeah, a resilient woman, you are. So I think my last question. My last question for you would be, what would you say to someone who is merely existing and finding it difficult to live again? What would be your last words for that person? And if you're just listening or you're just joining, I want you to know that you can live again, that it is time for you to live again. And that is what all of this is about. That is what all of this is about. So, sis, give your last words to someone that is merely existing and finding it difficult to live again.
My last words on this session is, find your purpose. Just find it. And it may not just make sense right now. It may just not make sense now, but you just really have to trust God that whatever you have gone through was for a reason. And the reason is for your own good. And the last thing in addition to that is that your environment matters. Wherever you are, see, you can, if you find your purpose and you're in the wrong environment, you can't live again.
You frustrate that purpose out of your life.
Literally, we are not joking with you, literally. And your place is, it can be your place of work, it can be your place of relationships. Any problem where you laughing now?
Hey God.
Your
Because
place
I
of, it
can
can be
relate now. That's what I'm laughing. No matter how, it's not motivation. No, sometimes
it's not
it's environment.
motivation. It's environment. If you need to be in a healthy environment, so find your purpose first and make sure, secondly, that you are rightly positioned in a place that wants to birth that purpose. So it could be in friendships, in churches, in communities. It could be in families or friends that become like family. I have a lot of friends that I will literally, the kind of relationship is God and is godly ordained. Like there's
Yeah.
sometimes I will call a friend and be like, this, that, and she's like, what's going on right now? It's God that just directs our paths. So, but if we're not in alignment, then there would not be that flourishing of the purpose. So
Honestly
first,
speaking.
finding that purpose, and secondly, being in an environment that encourages it, literally.
Wow. What Captain Tiki has done tonight is give you a crash course. A crash course, because there's just so much she has said. I don't know. There's so much. She's recommended books. She's shared relatable stories. She has shared practical steps. She has given you things you can start doing now. Like these two things that she just said now. Eh? If it's only these two things that you heard and you do these two things, you begin to live again. Finding your purpose and changing your environment. These two things, they can take you from 0 to 100 real quick, like 0 to 100. And everything we've been saying since is pointing to one thing: you can live again. Because if you don't believe that you can live again, you will not want to do anything that we're saying today. You can. No matter how bad, no matter the weight of the thing, no matter what it is, you can live again. We don't know your peculiar stories. We have our different stories. We have what we've gone through, what we're currently going through, right? But the thing is that we know that we are walking in line with what God wants us to do and who he wants us to be. So we have the energy to keep going. That's why we keep showing up, irrespective of what we're going through. So this is for you listening to us. You can live again. There's nothing more to add, nothing more to say. Just watch this IG live. Find a way to watch it. I will post it. I don't know if I can tag Captain TK or share on my stories, but you can pick from our stories anywhere. Just know that you need to live again. Know that there are things at stake for you to live again. There are lives connected to you, and know that you can live again now. In fact, now is the time. It's now. It is
Now
time
is the
for you
time.
to live again. You have
Now.
wasted time. You have wasted a lot of time. Like Katike said, some of you, your parents, you're the pattern breaker. There are things, somebody has died, another person has died, and then you just say, it's not my business. If it is not your business, the same snake that beats others will come and bite you if you don't kill it.
Period.
That's just the best way to explain breaking patterns. The same snake that beats others, if that snake is not dead, that snake is coming for you. You have to kill that snake before the snake gets to you. And that's really what living again is. Killing these nonsense patterns, nonsense life, and saying, if I have to be the first person in my lineage that will go on this journey and do it right, I will be the first person, no matter the price that I'm willing to pay. It's really about legacy and what you're going to leave behind, who you want to become and be known for. There's a lot to say. Honestly, we cannot exhaust living again, because it's a journey. It's not an event. But I'm sure that you've gotten a lot of value from here. I'm very sure you've gotten that. If you have gotten some value, please type in the chat. If you've been here since we started or you just joined, what have you heard as you just joined? And the thing is like, this thing is entering. Type it in the chat so that we can evaluate the impact of this life. But I trust that God has spoken to someone. Someone said, I'm a Muslim, but this is deep. And that person said, wisdom. People have gotten blessed. Even some that have not even said anything, I'm sure that they've gotten value from here, because this has been so value packed. I want to encourage everyone that is listening, please, it is time to live again. The people you are trying to impress, at the end of the day, if you are not living, it go show. If a pregnant person is trying to pretend, if someone that is not pregnant is pretending to be pregnant, last, we go know say the person
We go no say exactly.
do you
We go
understand?
no.
So instead of all the
We go
stress
no.
you are taking, trying to put fake stomach,
No need.
trying to wear makeup, trying to wear fine clothes as a guy, iron your shirt, you are dying. You're just like, let's just keep showing the world. No, pause. Take this idea as an opportunity for you to pause. Pause now. Lock yourself in a room and ask all these questions that TK has been asking, and everything that she shared. Everything. Why am I going through this? How is this coming to serve me? Who am I? There are questions you can begin to ask that will make you to look inwards and begin to live again. Someone is saying she learned that find purpose in your pain. There is purpose in your pain. Stop wasting it. If you've been wasting your pain from before now, it is time for you to stop wasting your pain. That's really how you can begin to live again. And I really want to still invite any woman listening to me here by chance, or if you know any woman, Live Again Outreach is a lot of, God has planned a feast for you. That's just how I can put it. It has taken blood, sweat, and tears, sincerely speaking, to get the Live Again Outreach to women, because God knows that women are part of his end time move, and a lot of them are broken. A lot are wounded, a lot are sleeping, and that sleep that they are sleeping is generational sleep that their parents slept before them. Some of them are wounded because their parents were in pain and tried to avoid that pain and did not do anything about it. And now those people are going through that pain. If this is you, or something has happened in your life that has kept you in a spot, or something has been stolen, killed, whatever, it is time for you to live again. I'm inviting you personally to the Live Again outreach happening in 6 days in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria, LTV to be precise. If you're a woman or you know a woman, tell them to come to LTV April 27th, 8 a.m. We're giving out grants, but that's not the main thing we're doing. We're helping you live again in all aspects of life, spiritually, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, and in every way, so that you can move past that thing that has crippled you and become everything that God has called you to be. And we're going to be having a lot of things happening, but the main thing is that you need to live again. So everything that is happening is tailored to help you live again. Even the financial empowerment, with the are giving 20 women 100K each, but that's just one of the benefits. We're giving one woman 200,000 naira, a mother. We're giving free business grant registration to one mother, and then we're giving massage therapy to 40 women for free. As far as you get to the venue on time, you'll be part of those 40 women that will get a free massage from Oriki. Exactly. So it's a lot. HR experts are working with us. We have Coach Lara Yeku and her team, a team of 15 HR experts coming to just help you review your CVs, check to see that you're more employable. We have legal partners that are going to be there. TK, we've not even finished discussing about that one. You're coming. Legal partners are coming to give you free legal counsel. We have free medical screening. It's a feast. We're giving a lot of things for free, and it is free because it is time for you to live again. Period. What happened to you may not have been your fault, but now you need to take it as your responsibility to live again, right? And that is why I'm inviting you. Click www.liveagain.com.ng/outreach or the link in my bio to register for free, or share it with someone who is in. You never know who you are helping, sincerely. You never know who needs this. Honestly, sis, I don't know what to say. I knew that this had to be. In fact, I feel like next time we should just do a Zoom masterclass 3 hours, because this one is not enough. Sincerely, we need to do something, and we've been saying it, but now I have the confirmation that there is just a lot. In fact, hey God, there is a lot. And if there's anything you will take from what we've said, is that you can live it. I don't know how else to shout this thing. And I don't know. I think that sometimes people think that they are hopeless. People think that their situations are hopeless. That's why they don't live again. They think that there's nothing. I can't. It's not possible, but it is. I'm sure you've heard Captain TK. You've heard me. I didn't share a lot about my story, but at least I mentioned that I went through abuse. And like TK said, it was training. It was training, and I'm so glad I went through it, because I've been able to milk it. I'm still making it till today. Like this thing that happened to me, I'm grateful, sincerely. So I hope that one day you can also look back, you listening to us, you can also look back and say, this pain that happened to me, I'm grateful. But it takes a lot of processes and steps and lessons and strategy, which we've shared a lot here today, and there's nothing more to add. TK, I know I've said you should say last words, but what else is coming to your mind to do? I just feel like there is something that is coming to your mind.
I just want to say that I love everybody watching this, and you should just be authentically you. This life is just, you don't get out of it alive. We're all gonna go out of it. So you might as well pour out everything that is in you. Pour it all out. Leave nothing, no stone unturned. And don't just, I pray this is the very last thing now. Don't just listen to this, be pumped and go. Like she said, even if it is one thing that you pick that struck. I remember one of your first lives that I for some reason till today, I remember what you said. Till today. You don't even know what that thing is, but when you were speaking and it just popped at me. So whatever it is that anybody here who is watching, something just struck at you, just take that one thing and take action. What is your massive action plan from what you have heard? Act immediately. Don't wait. Don't wait after listening. Oh wow, that was so amazing. Blah blah blah. I had pain is this. Go and take a book. Okay, I suffered this pain. This girl betrayed me, and I don't trust friends anymore. Now this. Okay, what are the benefits I've gotten from this? How was this a blessing? I need to know that my friends must have the same values with me, because if they do, they will not act like this. I need to do this. I need 10. Just take action. Don't listen to this and just go away, and share this live to somebody who needs it in your community. There's so many women who are living below God's expectation for them. They need to be with us at LTV. Share it. Don't hesitate. If you want to support, you want to sponsor, you want to donate something, cash, kind, whatever it is, your services, please do so. I'll be posting the flyers as well on my stories and my page, because this is somebody that I
Thank you so much,
I
sis.
know that is
Mm,
legitimate. It's nothing
yeah.
funny. And especially the shelter, I know that a lot of people come out and talk big but no action. And one thing I love especially is that you've also created a shelter for people who maybe are going through some abuse. They don't know where to run away from, because some people are in pain, but honestly they may not just have the right resources or where to even go to, as we do have in, advanced countries.
Mm.
And I love that you've taken that responsibility and done that. So if there's anybody here who would like to financially support this outreach, or the shelter, or the women who are going to be transformed, whether you want to do it by virtue of money or services, or even just sharing this information, please do not hesitate to send any form of a DM. You can send me a DM. I'll send you back to her anyways. But send us a DM, and see, the link is in her bio. Just take action. That's my closing word. Take action.
Oh my
Thank you
goodness, you're such an in fact, I don't know what to say. I'm
so
just so
much.
grateful to
Thank you
God
so much.
for and for someone listening. When you begin to live again, one thing that will start happening to you is that God will begin to bring in relationships, new people. There are people that you would meet. You know that this one, it is God
Absolutely.
that brought us together, and that happens when you align and you begin to live again. You might think that that relationship that you have that is old is the best. You've not seen the people that God has prepared for you. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
The life you think you're living now, it is nothing compared to when you begin to live again. And I'll close with this. You will never know how much you're merely existing until you begin to live again. So this is us
Love
inviting you,
it.
come and live again. Click that link in my bio right away, and let's all meet at the Live Again outreach. For women only. Men, don't be jealous. Don't worry. Something is coming for you.
Men,
We
send
gotta
money,
go now.
send funds.
And send funds. Honestly speaking, about that funds part, we need a lot of money. Gosh, I don't want to go into details, but we need a lot of money. Just if you have money to give for the Live Again outreach, for we're getting the hall, for food, we're still trusting God for food, a lot of things that we're doing. Just send that money. And like TK said, this is me. I've been doing this for a while, for the past how many years. I help women live again. I even have a shelter, and I do these things. One lady that we helped in Calabar recently, in fact, I don't want to go into details, but she has 2 kids, and she was rejected by her family because she came out of an unfortunate situation. Let's just put it that way. And the whole family rejected her. And then she now met someone and then had a child. And then the person that she was staying with said, I can't keep you here. You're causing me shame. And she went back and had another child. And now she's just there. There's a lot of women. I spoke to one today that were helping in Kebbi State. She ran away from an abusive marriage with her 1-month-old child. The husband will lock her up and she will not eat. Her child will not eat. Like, people, people are going through a lot, and we helped her. We set her up in baking. She's now baking. She's making donuts. She's making puff puff. She's selling it in a primary school. She's we sent her money for oven. She has an oven. She has her everything, her baking ingredients. She's now catering to her child. So these are just some of the things. A lady was in our shelter 3 weeks ago that came. This guy, see, people are going through a lot. Another person called me 3 days ago because she left the abuse, because the man hit her child on the wall, and she said, I cannot cope with this particular one, and she left. This man sent 10 policemen to her mother's house to come and arrest her, that she kidnapped the children. See, these are the things that we deal with. Some were giving counsel over the phone, some were directing to FIDA or to lawyers or to police, some were physically going to help, some were sheltering, some were helping with business grants. So the Live Again outreach is like you coming to the place where you will get all the help you need
At once.
Holistic well-being. We're doing
Baba.
holistic, spiritual, emotional, financial. You will get everything. You even learn how to leverage what you have in your hand. You will learn there's job part, there's skill part, there is every part. God has prepared a feast for you. If you don't show up, it's not on me, it's not on Captain TK. You heard it.
Wow.
You heard it. So this is it. Just it is time to live again. I don't know how else we can shout this thing. Like TK said, she has megaphone. Like, just go and understand that if you're not living right, there is something that is at stake, and many times it's your children that will be affected, or those coming after you. You cannot afford to make the same mistakes that those before you made. It is time for you to live again. Honestly, sis, I just feel like I'm the one that will close this life, because there's a way the thing is doing me. Sincerely, I just feel like my heart is now picking the burdens, right, of people, and there's a way I'm feeling. I feel very heavy in my spirit. I just feel like a lot of people have gone around setting mountains for too long that they had no business going, because they didn't have anybody pulling them out of it. They didn't have anybody pulling them out of it. And many times we are scared. See, this outreach is going to be a safe space where you can come, you can cry, you will meet sisters, even if it's just a hug. If it's just a hug you get, honestly, you need it. You need that environment, that atmosphere that will help you live again. Tell everyone you know, every woman, if you're a man, tell women that you know. You don't even know who you are helping, because women, we have a way of, we can wear hair, we can cover the pain.
We can cover very well. We can cover
Sis,
very
over
well.
to you. And
Man, I don't know. I just think you just hit the nail on the head. And it's especially people who are in such situations, because I think it takes a lot for you to be able to handle this. Just listen to it, I'm already like, oh my God, like, so you having to handle that, and you need to have the support, because if there's anybody here, and I'm really speaking on one side for those who need the help, the other side for people who are in capacity to help. Like, we don't have to wait for anybody to do anything. It might be your $100, it might be your 10,000 naira, it might be anything, things that you maybe clothes in your house that you're not using, that we can repackage and give to some of these women, for children, for the women, whatever it is that is in your house that is just laying fallow. Look for it, package it, reach an informant, send her a DM, please. Be of use. Don't just be a hearer on this, platform. Some of you may be you're already living again. Feedback
exactly,
to other people.
exactly.
Pass that mantle to other women, to other people who need that upliftment, who may not have the resources, whether it's financial, spiritual, emotional. But if you have a company that can render some form of support, especially money, because we need that things that need to be gotten for these events to happen. So
Honestly.
please send cash, send kind, do something, please.
Yeah,
Do
even
something, please.
product sponsorship. You have
Products,
products to give out to the
exactly.
women. You have anything to
Exactly.
give out to the women that they would love. Just bring it, share it. We can't be talking and not doing. And I'm very passionate about doing. And that's what Captain TK is very passionate about. She wants to do, she wants to do more. She wants to give back. And this is the burden in our heart.
It
There are
is.
many women that are going through a lot and they can't speak out. Some are speaking out, but they are not being helped properly. And it's time for you to live again. God has done different things and created different opportunities, and the Live Again outreach is one of them. Please,
Absolutely.
I beg you, don't miss it. In 6 days, meet us at LTV Ikeja, opposite Coca-Cola, off ShopRite, Ikeja City Mall. That's where it's be happening from 8 a.m. And just come. There's a lot to get. You can go to the link in my bio and read more about it, or go to www.liveagain.com.ng/outreach. We gotta go, because me and this my sister, we can't talk. If you hear us talking on the phone, until they come and pursue us. So it's not this one that we're doing here is
It's not
physical.
new.
It's just physical. It's just like
It's
public.
just physical.
Public one. That's all. This is how we are.
That's all. That's the difference, honestly. Because
It has been so good. I'm
we
so
will not
glad that we
stop.
did this.
We
Oh
will
my
not
goodness.
stop. We will not
This has been so
stop.
good.
It's amazing.
Okay, we
Thank you
gotta
so much.
thank you so much,
Thank you
sis. I
so
love you
much,
so
guys.
much. We
Thank
gotta
you.
go,
Love you so
people.
much.
We gotta go. We gotta go. Hey, Drake,
She's
Watson.
laughing.
We gotta
Hi.
go. Bye, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you
Bye.
got value. Bye.
Bye.